Well, would you look at that? In studio with us, we have two of the most influential men in the area building the most towering of structures down in downtown Fargo. Gentlemen, go ahead and introduce yourselves because I'm so excited to hear about Block 9.
So I'm Keith Leier. I'm a vice president with Kilbourne Group and one of the project managers with Block 9 Partnership on the Block 9 project.
Perfect. And
Casey Jackson, vice president of BC Contracting, which is affiliated with Ardiafa Company. And I'm actually serving as the owner's rep on behalf of Ardiafa Company for the project.
Okay. So two vice presidents. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
There's some companies in town that like anybody is a vice president. Like I'm a vice president of custodial care, you know?
Same here.
Yeah.
So you two are working and leading some of the charges for the Block 9 project downtown Fargo.
Right.
If people don't know what Block 9 is, what can you do to fill them in?
Yeah, so Block 9, it's a mixed-use building. It's in the heart of downtown, so it's right on Broadway and 2nd Avenue. There's really three components to the project. There's a large parking ramp that's associated with it, about 308.
Just hang on. Let that soak in for a minute. There's a parking ramp. Folks, if you've been downtown, and if you're trying to get there from Moorhead, you probably can't. Because the Moorhead construction is just crazy. But the downtown area is parched for more parking. Mm-hmm. And here you come in with how many spots?
We'll have 380 spots associated with our project. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I totally interrupted you, Keith.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So then there's the main building. That's an 18-story mixed-use building. So it'll have retail components around the first floor. There's a boutique hotel in it, so 125 rooms. RDO's corporate headquarters is coming down to that spot. So they have about a third of the square footage of the building. And then there's residential condos in it and some additional office space as well.
So you said 18 stories. That's the tallest building in Fargo, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Take that, Radisson. Is that what you're saying? Like,
Yeah.
You're going to be 30 or 40 feet higher than the Radisson, right?
Yeah, about 30 feet. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And I jokingly say take that, Radisson. I know that, well, the interesting story, I used to work at First Lutheran Church in downtown Fargo, and I had heard that there was like a competition, an unspoken competition between St. Mary's Cathedral and First Lutheran Church back in the day to see who would build the tallest steeple, and St. Mary's won. So there you have it. But this will be the tallest building in Fargo, second tallest building in North Dakota. Is that right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Commercial building. I think there's some industrial, like grain elevators that might be taller.
Okay, sure. And the project is busy. Like my coaching office is downtown. I look at your work every day. I can't believe the chaos that's going on there, guys. Give me some of the details and the nitty gritty of what happens there on a daily basis.
Well, kudos to McGough Construction. They're our general contractor for the project. Keith and McGough, as well as myself, worked really hard on the front end of the project to really set up the site logistics. Mm-hmm. How that traffic was going to flow in and out of downtown. There's a lot of truck traffic every day. And I
don't notice it. That's the thing, Casey.
Yeah.
I don't notice the headache. This is like 100 to 150 workers on a site a day. I don't notice it, man.
Well, that's, again, kudos to McGough. I mean, they basically plan for 3 hours a day. So they've got two tower cranes and two gates, and they essentially spend the first 3 hours every day planning what every moment of the day, when there's going to be delivery on the job site, what tower crane is going to pick that material off the truck, and cycling that traffic in and out of downtown. And so they've done a great job of really reducing the impact and making, like you said, almost unnoticeable down there. Of course, you hear the noise, you hear the banging, the clanging, but as far as the traffic and congestion that everybody was worried about, it's just simply not there. I mean, I drive down to the job site every day for meetings, and I have yet to not find a spot within a block of the project site. Yeah, there's always a spot available.
I love the fact that our street parking is usually 90 minutes to 2 hours, and it gets people churning. And you can be patient enough and find a spot, which is great. So you talked about three components. The first is the boutique hotel you mentioned, right? And I'm an investor in this, so I'm so curious as to the details.
Yeah, so it's a partnership with our operator is called Aperium Hotel Group. They're out of Chicago. Aperium's known kind of all over the central United States and really around the world a little bit. They have some of the top hotels in the country. They're a boutique hotel brand. Boutique in that they're unbranded.
It's not a point system, right? It's not a Marriott or a Hilton. Yep.
Correct. Yeah. So every one of their projects is custom to the city that they show up in. So the hotel here is going to be a Fargo themed hotel, and it's going to be comfortable for people that are Fargoans. It's going to reflect our heritage. It's going to reflect, some of the things that are around the city that we're proud of, and it'll be a great showcase for people coming to this area to want to hear about Fargo and learn about Fargo. But it'll be a great place for locals to go there and hang out because it'll feel comfortable and it won't feel like a typical hotel lobby or something like that.
Now there's a restaurant and bar component to this also, right? Can
Correct,
you give
yep.
any details on that? Because I've heard some rumblings, and I'm not going to spill any rumblings that I've heard. But are there any details that you can unveil here?
Not really any specific ones. I mean,
Dang it, Keith. I asked for one thing.
Honestly, we're getting through the process of the name for the restaurant. There'll be a slight twist on the branding. It'll speak to the hotel, but it'll be just kind of slightly different, its own kind of thing. But we're working through, just getting into what the food offerings are going to be, wrapping up the rest of the kind of the aesthetic design stuff.
Yeah.
So we're getting close. We're excited to share the name and start sharing, kind of the media side of getting that whole side of the project going as well.
Eric, have you experienced an Imperium hotel experience?
I have.
Okay.
I stayed at the one in Minneapolis. It's the Hewing, right?
The Hewing, yeah.
Right.
I stayed at the Hewing, and my gosh, it is 5-star service and decor. And just the Hewing down in Minneapolis is an old building that's restored to new. And Aparium, from what I understand, is either taking old buildings and restoring them to new, similar to maybe the Hodo here, I think is probably the most paralleling example we can give. And then they're taking these new projects too and are just making them so filled with character. It's not your typical hotel room.
Yeah, it's good.
Right, yeah, and their bread and butter is just hospitality and service. That's what they want you to remember when you come there. And it's a 5-star quality service, but it's a 4-star hotel actually. So I mean, it's very approachable. That's 9 stars total if you're counting folks. Yeah. So I mean, it's not a super high end, ritzy type of hotel. It's just a really nice, comfortable, clean, well serviced, well taken care of group of people that are working with us, and we're excited to have it here.
Now, I want to talk for 3 hours about this, but we just have a couple minutes left. Let's talk briefly about the condos that are up top. For sale residential condos ranging from what square foot to what square foot, and the price is an interesting price for Fargo because I don't think that Fargo has fully digested it, and yet I know there's a market for it and people are already jumping on it.
Yeah, there's 7 condos, which were reduced from the original scope, just looking at how what was the right mix for the tower. To make it sure it made sense financially. 4 of those 7 condos, or excuse me, 6 condos. There's 6 condos now. 4 of the 6 condos are sold.
They are.
They're spoken for. I mean, I don't know if they're penciled, inked. I don't think the ink is dried yet.
They've been dibsed.
But they've been dibsed, and people are actively working on floor plans. Square footages range from, I think the smallest is 1,800 feet.
Yep.
The largest being the penthouse is, I can't remember what it was, Keith, but right around 5,000 square feet.
It's a lot of house.
With an outdoor terrace. So there's really nice spaces up on floors 15, 16, and 17. Going to be great views. There's 2 left, so people better jump on it quickly because as we grow higher in the sky, I believe people are going to get a little more interested in that property up there, and they're going to go quick.
The property right now, you guys are 9 or 10 stories up, aren't you?
We just poured the 10th floor on Monday. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And you're doing 1 floor every 2 weeks, and so realistically, by September or so, we're going to see how towering 18 stories really looks downtown.
That's correct. Be pretty close.
So we should have everything open and running about a year from December. Is that right? December 2020?
Yeah, our goal is to open the hotel, probably the office components, some of the larger places inside, fall of 2020.
Okay.
Then the plaza, the last component of the project, we're thinking that's wrapping up late fall, early winter of 2020 as well. So.
Guys, you are doing a massively great job at changing the landscape and the topography of downtown Fargo, of bringing such rich culture and opportunities, employing a ton of people, and finding a way to make a difference. So thank you for what you do.
You bet.
Yeah, thanks.
Our pleasure.
Folks, go to hatchrealty.com over the break and see the houses that are for sale, including these downtown condos that are so chic. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.